we're going to have Dr. Pillai join us for another teaching. And we'll be covering the last two principles of the Millionaire Yoga program. Have passion and be exceptional. And then number 6, the courage to commit. So Dr. Pillai, welcome back.
Before I move on to the last two principles of the Millionaire Yoga, I just remembered 2 points that I forgot to mention to you in the 2 teachings we had in the morning. One fundamental question is, can everybody become a millionaire? If they directly ask this question to me, honestly speaking, I can tell by looking at a person whether or not the person is going to make money or not. Then what's the purpose of this program? Everybody has the potential to make it. And I told you that the millionaire's brain is different from the poor man's brain. What is the millionaire's brain? It is the midbrain. What is the poor man's brain? Is the neocortex, the chunk of the brain on top of the reptilian brain called the midbrain. That's a scientific explanation. But when I say to somebody that you are not going to make it, it comes out of a higher science. So we are going to use that higher science also in the program. That's what I forgot to mention. What is that higher science? That higher science is Vedic astrology. Astrology can tell you whether or not you are going to make it. Not only that, it can help you how to make it. If you cannot by nature could make it, it can tell you how to make it. How? Vedic astrology is different from Western astrology. It's called the astrology of the seers. That's why it has been upheld by the Supreme Court of India as a science. Thanks to Dr. Rao, who took this up to the Supreme Court and proved that Vedic astrology is as good as computer science. That was a couple of years ago. The whole world is going to be thankful for this guy. I'm going to be meeting him soon in Delhi. And then he made the University Grants Commission to give grants to astrology, study of astrology, like any other sciences. And this is true only of Vedic astrology, because it is so accurate. So we are going to use that Vedic astrology in the program to help you. If your chart, your natal chart, is not giving you a support to become rich or wealthy, then we can do something about it. Because after all, the planets fall within the range of 400 to 700 nanometers of light. There are color schemes. This is an area that I'm interested in research, and my company is also involved in doing research. Soon we'll be out with it. Fantastic results, how the planets, which are light energy, affects your brain. So that is included in the program. So they will tell you this is where the problem is. So I remember that Forbes magazine once made a study. It's available if you go Google search, say, go astrology and billionaires, Google Forbes magazine. Forbes magazine has found out that the planet Mercury is very much involved in making you financially wealthy. Now, the Vedic astrology as a way to enhance a weak Mercury and then raise your consciousness. And that will have an impact on your brain also. So that is very important, a very important factor. So I made it a part of the Millionaires program so that there will be a financial analysis of your potentials to make money or not, and then how to fix it. So that will be given to you. So this I forgot to mention. I thought that I would bring it up. The second thing that I wanted to bring it to your attention, which I just forgot, was the use of the mantras to bring about changes, significant changes. In this connection, I just remember a guru who came to the United States. His name is Swami Rama, and he passed away. He came to the Millionaire Foundation medical school, and there he stopped his heart. The physicians were freaking out. No, we know that you can stop your brain, but please can you come back up again, otherwise you may die. But he didn't come back still. And I say, I will come back whenever I want to come back. Okay. And this man was getting trained to become a guru. And he tells a story about mantras. So the mantras are everywhere. You can go to Google search, and then there are endless mantras there and what they can do. But will they work? They work only under certain circumstances. And I am going to give you the example from the life of Swami Rama. While Swami Rama was getting trained in the Himalayas, he met a guru who was teaching mantras. He told the guy to go and climb up at the top of a tree and then take a honeycomb there. And one day while you go there, he was afraid that he is going to be stung by the bees. So the guru said there is a mantra, it's called a bee mantra. The mantra is to keep the bees away. So if you chant it and then go near it, and then you won't get bitten off. So he went, and then he was not harmed by the bees. The guy was curious. So he gave it to another guy and tested it. And this other guy went up, and then he was bitten by the bees. So he has a chapter in his book, Under the Feet of the Himalayan Masters. There's a chapter called Bee Mantras where he talks about it. So what it says is, you have to receive the mantra from one who has experienced it. That's very important. There is a mystery behind this. A mystery behind this. And the mystery is handed down through the tradition of masters, and then they have to be empowered. So there is a divine copyright to it. So there is a mantra I given you like Shreem. Unless I have given some empowerment to people, you go and teach it, that will not work. That's the bottom line. But anyway, that will not work as much as it works as I do it. So that is the secret. So in the program, what I have done is I made sure that I give the mantras in the program when we actually do the program, that I give it to you. So I recorded them so that it gets the full, you get the full benefits. So these are the 2 points that I wanted to talk about, and then we can move on to the last 2 principles. Passion. Have passion and to be exceptional. Passion is a great asset. The greatest asset is passion. You should be passionate about the thing that you do. If you are wishy-washy, it's not going to work. If you have passion, you don't need anything at all. But passion will generate everything. You don't need money to create a business. You need passion. You don't need money to buy a house, but if you have the passion, pure passion, that passion will do everything. And the passion is just emotion. The emotions are creative. The emotions can create a baby. What else can create a baby? If there is no emotion, there won't be any procreation at all. So what is behind procreation? Intense emotion. To do what? To create. This is the technique that I gave to Wayne Dyer some 12 years ago, the awe meditation. And I told him, awe has the sum total of all intention, emotions to create. And you don't have to go lecture for hours and hours together. People will still be appreciative of your intellectual presentation, and then it will appeal to the mind. The mind will not create. Only the heart will create. You will fall from head to the heart. That's why it's called falling in love. As long as you are in the head, emotions will not be there. So emotions are very important. And emotions have an intelligence. And what is that intelligence? That intelligence is creative intelligence. It can create. If you have a very powerful fantasy, that's a lot more powerful than a strategic planning that you will go through your mind. That's nothing compared to the emotions. So you must have the emotions. The emotions should be completely authentic, like Martin Luther King or Mahatma Gandhi. It was such an authentic desire. Or to give a mundane example, like Jay Leno or David Letterman wanting to become Johnny Carson. They did become Johnny Carson. Because the desire was so intense. But most people have difficulty in desiring. And when you don't have desire, you lose things. Look at the example of the Buddha. One of his teachings is desire is the root cause for all miseries. So what happened? He could not be in the palace. He could not be with his wife. Could not be with his father. Could not be with his son. He became a monk. I'm not putting down Buddha, but the rule is the same. Whether it is the Buddha or me or you, if you have no desire, then you will lose it. But the Buddha had another desire. What is the desire? What is his main teaching? Emptiness, nirvana. So that was his desire. And then he got it. I used to teach Buddhist meditation for the University of Pittsburgh. People will stand in line to register for it. There will be waiting list for every class. So I have to teach it in another semester. But at the end of the course, I will tell them, don't follow the Buddha. His techniques are good to get you down to a quiet mind. But quiet mind is not everything. But in that quiet mind, you have to program. Then only you can create. The quiet mind or nirvana is not the end in itself. And if you think that is the end in itself, then that's it. You can't manifest. But will it work for the 21st century? No. Is it desirable? It is practical? No. So we have to have a model. And what's that model? We should have desire. We should have emotions. And if we don't have one, we have to create it. Because this is exactly the crux of the problem. I have helped many millionaires to become multimillionaires. At least one multimillionaire to become a billionaire. But it has been very, very difficult for a person who is making $50,000 to help him to make $100,000. Why? Because of this problem. That he doesn't desire authentically. So in fact, I'm here not to help a millionaire become a multimillionaire. It is more fulfilling to me, and that I consider as my mission in my life, to take someone who is making $25,000 and then make him a millionaire. That's possible. That is the miracle I want to create. I cannot do it on my own, but I need your support. But I am willing to give my blessings for that. I bless you all. I bless everyone that you are watching that, because it is my heartfelt emotion that everybody should have everything so that we can create the golden age. And it doesn't make any sense why anybody should suffer and be without money. It is a matter of knowing the technique. How to get into the emotional brain. That's the millionaire's brain. How to get into the infrared complex that can create miracles. How to shift dimensions. How to shift time. So I'm going to give you a technique now. Let's close your eyes. The logical brain will not make you a millionaire. The first prerequisite is to activate your emotional brain and your psychic brain. Which is your midbrain. put an infrared light inside the midbrain. The midbrain processes the infrared light. It's an endogenous infrared. As you put the infrared inside the midbrain, feel happiness. Feel happiness while you are visualizing the infrared. And from there, you have to go to your heart. Shoot the infrared from the head, from the midbrain area, to the heart. हृदये चित्तसंकटात् दृश्य स्वापदर्शनम्. What that means is, when the energy moves from the head, from the midbrain area to the heart, then you understand the principles of creation. How the particles of emotions go and create things. This is Shiva Sutra, where Shiva is explaining the process of manifestation. Hridaye chitta sankatat drishya swapadharshanam. You are not going to manifest through your head, through your logical brain, but from the midbrain, from the heart, the sacred heart in Christian theology. Maintain a happy state of mind. If it's a house, car, home, or vacation, you just embrace it. And then admit to yourself, I love this reality. I must have it. Not having it is not an option. I must have it. Not having it is not an option. That option is ruled out. The mind will kick in and then it will give some negative ideas. But you don't listen to it. I love this reality. Feel it, touch it, smell it. Bring all the senses together. The senses will help you to manifest. Not your intellect. The intellect will ask why, where, what, when, how. Will stop the process of manifestation. Now, just let go. Relax. And slowly, slowly come back to yourself. I remember long time ago, it is in 86 or 87, I was teaching a class for the University of Pittsburgh. It's a class for the informal program. I remember walking into the classroom with the Time magazine. And Bill Gates was on the cover page. There was an interview with Bill Gates. At that time, I think he had saved up like 10 billion or something. And then the interviewer asked, Bill Gates, do you want to make more money? Of course. Why? 10 billion is a lot of money, what are you going to do with that? Why? Because I want to take time off. Okay? He was very determined. And he is taking time off now. Because he has now, 50 or 60 billion or more. Once he had 100 billion now. And then a lot more in his foundation. And Warren Buffett came and gave another 30 billion or something. So that should be the attitude. So I contrast Bill Gates' mind to the waitress who was telling money is not everything. People really don't understand what they are talking about. That's the problem. Sometimes the negativity comes from the parents, grandparents. They are transferred through the soul. So I have a YouTube called Soul Genetics. You may want to go look at it. So what soul genetics means is, it's not only that you inherit biological genes, but you also inherit soul genes. You are thinking your father's thoughts, mother's thoughts, and grandfather's or grandmother's thoughts, or great-great-grandfather's thoughts, and those guys have been so negative. You simply cannot inherit biological genes alone. You are inheriting their souls as well. So you are thinking their thoughts. What are you going to do? There are remedies for it. In fact, the best remedy can be done only during this next 15 days, and if you go to Astroved, you can see that. So that's not part of this program. I'm not going to talk about it. How you can get out of the thoughts from your parents, from your great-grandparents, which you have willingly or unwillingly, but certainly unconsciously have inherited. And that is the problem. So we have to address that too. So when you clean up all these things, then manifestation becomes very easy. Because then you are yourself, not influenced by other forces. The last point now, courage to commit. This is a very, very important point. Commitment. Now again the question, I cannot commit. Can I succeed? No, no, no. How can you succeed if you are not committing to anything? But that is the nature of 99% of the people. That's why they are not succeeding. They are committed to non-commitment. That's the problem. Everybody is committed to non-commitment. And that non-commitment they identify as freedom. And I say that is abuse of freedom. Abuse of your free will. Abuse of the gift of life. Irresponsible way of spending your consciousness and lifetime. That's goofy behavior. Totally goofy behavior. And that is the most important thing that you have to learn in this Millionaires program. So, I cannot commit. Can I succeed? No, 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 no. So you have to commit. The yogis are pretty committed. That's why they don't stay in the world. They just go in the cities or in their homes. They go to the Himalayas, where nobody can reach them. I've lived in the Himalayas many times in my 20s. They don't even talk to you. I tried to pull them into conversation when I was 20, because I was passionate about the whole thing. They won't talk to you. They don't even recognize who you are. They're not interested in any conversation with you. I went and sat before them, and then they will pretend as though I don't exist. And I used them, hello, 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 hello. They won't. They won't pay any attention to it. Why? They are committed. What are they doing? So-ham, so-ham, so-ham. God I am, God I am, God I am, God I am. Because they are not interested in Rolls Royce or mansion, but they are more greedy. Why? They want to become God. So when you become God, then you can manifest anything and everything, because you are God. So that is their goal. They are pretty committed. That is true of anyone and everyone, not necessarily the yogis. Look at Gandhi. Gandhi came to India and he was looking for a job because he was in South Africa, and then he was badly hit, and then he lost all his money. There was no money, so he landed in India. And then the people went to greet Gandhi, and then he told them that I have to find a job now. No, you don't have to find a job. There are enough wealthy people here to support you and your family. But can you drive the British out of India? Yes, I can. He did not wink an eye. Yes, I can. How? How can you fight against the British Empire where the sun never set? Even the Americans had difficult time fighting them with the British. And how can Indians do? They didn't have any weapon except crude weapons. Gandhi knew all about it, but he said, yes, I can. That is commitment. So without commitment, we are not going anywhere. Now, what is commitment? That's a very important question. Commitment is alertness. You have to remain totally alert. Non-commitment is goofiness. The mind is goofy, it will go from place to place, and then, you just go along with the mind, and then there is no responsibility, It is like a bush growing and there are nobody to take care of it, to trim it. Like a lawn and you are growing and then you don't maintain the lawn. Got to maintain the land. Otherwise it will be wild growth. And that is commitment. And that comes from alertness. The Buddha would call it mindfulness. You have to be alert. And I'm going to teach you a simple technique, a breathing technique that will help you to stay alert. As somebody asked about the breathing technique, I said I will talk about it later on, and that person, I don't know if he's still watching the show or not, and if he's watching this show, this is the answer. Now we are not even conscious of our breathing. We don't know even if we are breathing or not. But when you become conscious of your breathing, you will become more and more and more alert. Remember, this is the technique that the Buddha taught to his son Rahula. Remember, the Buddha did not believe in God. He was an atheist. He did not believe in soul either. He did not believe in God. He did not believe in the soul. But he believed in consciousness. He wanted a content-free consciousness, completely content-free consciousness. And that is nirvana, emptiness. And that can be attained, the Buddha said, through watching your breath. I'm not going to exactly give his technique, but another technique, an improved one. There are hundreds of breathing techniques. The one that I'm going to give you will do a lot, including making you alert. Close your eyes. Just take a deep breath and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now put your attention on the right nostril and breathe in through that nostril. And then exhale or breathe out through the other nostril. You have to do it mentally. Don't worry about whether or not you are breathing in, you are able to watch the air going in or the air going out. Now, this is a technique that I have developed, which is a lot more powerful than any other technique that I have known. Because the breath and the mind are one and the same. Eventually we have to resolve that problem. Put your attention on the right nostril and breathe in. Synchronize your mind with the breath. And if you are not able to follow that, synchronize the breath with the mind, that's fine. Attention is enough. Breathe in through the right nostril and then breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. Breathe out through the left nostril. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the right. Breathe out through the left. Now do it by yourself. If thoughts come, just come back to your nostril. Now relax. Slowly, slowly come back to yourself. And open your eyes. I put this commitment as the last point. Why? Because this is the ultimate. If there is no commitment, I have wasted my time, you have wasted your time. You have to make that commitment. You have to take action. That's why when Mohini said that I had difficulty in asking people to sign up and call to action is really difficult for me. She discussed with me, said, no, that's commitment. And without commitment, we are not going to go anywhere. What Yeah, I'm not asking you to commit to myself or to anybody. I want you to commit to yourself. The knowledge is out there, and I explained the millionaire's brain versus the poor man's brain. But we do not want to be responsible for creating another generation of poor people. I want to present this model to the United Nations, and I'm gathering evidence. And I'm going to put money into research so that the scientists will come and this is what is happening to our children. Poverty is affecting the brain. So we have to create prosperity. And what do we need for that? Commitment. And once you have committed, once you have proved it, then you will stay in it. It will be difficult to create the first manifestation. And once you have created the first manifestation, then sky is the limit. Richard Branson also says this same thing. When somebody asked, how are you able to control and manage and do things for the 165 companies? It's easy. It's easy. Once you have done one, you know how to do it. Making money is easy, but right now the program is making money is difficult. Then how are you going to do that? So where does this idea of making money difficult comes from? The negative cortex, the chunk of the brain, which is the society, which is the social consciousness. And that needs to be changed. That's why we have all these elements in this program. I made sure when I developed this program that there are all the components covered to change your thinking. Including your planets. If the planets are right in the right place, you don't need to do anything. Money will come and knock at your door. Even if you run away from money, money will chase you. But unfortunately, many people do not have that kind of astrological placements of planets. Most people don't have it. So we have to do something about it. We can change. That's why Vedic astrology plays a very important part in the program. So the people who sign up will have their financial analysis based on the planets. And the remedies will be suggested to you also. So that's very important. So I just wanted to develop a comprehensive program to help people to create. Yeah, that's basically what I needed to communicate to you about this program. And if there are questions, and I will answer. There's questions from the audience here.
Any questions from our virtual audience? Okay. I think some questions are coming. We're coming to the end of our program, so this is your last opportunity to ask questions directly to Dr. Pillai. Okay, we've got a question from Q Soccer 2211. Where do the gods and goddesses come into play with the millionaire mindset? How would one be able to briefly add this element of working with the gods and goddesses? Do they help to cleanse the brain Or can they charge the brain with energy to manifest quickly?
The gods and goddesses reside in the sound waves, in the mantras. So when you are using a mantra, then you are bringing in the energy of the god or goddess. For instance, Shri is the mantra for Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. I'll tell you my own example. I just came here to this country to do my PhD. And I thought that being in the university is not going to give me the financial freedom that I wanted. I immediately quit right after teaching for a year. And then I bought a brand new Mercedes-Benz because I started teaching and then I made a lot of money. So I just bought a brand new Mercedes-Benz and then I drove to see my colleagues. And they were kind of surprised because they have been teaching forever in the university and then they were driving junky cars because, they don't make enough money. And then one of my colleague asked me, and he was a senior colleague, and he also was teaching religion. And then he asked me, how is it that, how did you manage to make it? And I told him that we are in the business of teaching religion. And but in the university, they have a very weird idea because the academics are weird people. They are not practical. The practical people are the business people. The academicians are only focused on what they are doing. Not that they have to do the way they are doing, but they don't want to incorporate the practical. I told him, look, you also teach about Lakshmi, and who is the goddess of wealth, but you don't believe. That's the problem. Because the professors in the universities, especially in religious studies, they always say one thing, that we teach about religion, not teach religion. Do you know the difference between teaching about religion and teaching religion? When you teach about it, there is no participation. You have to participate. How can you teach about emptiness when you teach Buddhism? Emptiness is completely getting rid of your mind. Theoretically, you will be talking about it. But if you really want to understand and experience emptiness, you have to really meditate and get to a point, and the mind becomes empty. So to answer the question, the sound waves carry the energy of the gods and goddesses who are responsible for creating that energy. In this case, stream, which I introduced to you, is the energy of the goddess Lakshmi. And we have had tremendous success with this sound. It's all over the internet of how people use this technique and benefited. They have put out their experience in YouTubes and elsewhere.
Okay, we've got another question here from Tree. How can we speed up manifestation?
I kind of mentioned that in the course of my lecture. Time is an illusion, and time will be present or experienced only when you are in the neocortex area. When you go to the midbrain, to the pineal gland, you will have a dimensional shift of time and space. So that's how, by going into the midbrain, particularly to the pineal gland, you can speed up your manifestation.
Okay, and we've got one last question from Subramanian Sarna. I am an employee and I have registered for the program. Can this program double my finances in a year?
You are an employee, that's an identity. You have, say for instance, you make $100,000. And then the logic is, how can you double the income in the same job? So you should be open to money that comes from other sources. And you don't have to do anything, you do the practice, and when you do the practice, it will open up. The midbrain will help you to open different avenues. As long as you have the employee consciousness, I am the employee, there's no way I'm going to make it, then it's going to be difficult. So you have to really open up yourself. I'm not saying that you should resign your job or anything. You keep your job. But then remember that every moment is new. Every moment is new. But it is the set mind that gives you the identity and freezes you, and you become a frozen reality in time and space. Be alert, be in the moment, be in the midbrain. Not only you will double, but triple money, or even quadruple it.
So thank you, Dr. Pillai, for your time, your presence, and your teachings today. We're so grateful to have this opportunity to be here with you.
Great. One last thing, commitment, call to action. That's very important. If you don't act, then I won't feel fulfilled. It's not a kind of making money for me. I have enough money. There's no need for me to do that unless I'm motivated by something that I can offer to you, because I have a global vision. I told you that I want to prove this, put my own money into research and prove the millionaire's brain versus the poor man's brain complex, and then go to various agencies and then make it mainstream. But this is the first opportunity for me to present it formally, and I'm very happy to do that, but call to action is very important. And one more thing that I just forgot to tell you, that all these techniques that I have taught you and the philosophies and so forth is very, very important. But you also need a game plan. That's where Akila came in, the Indian couple, the financial planner. She's a very, very smart woman. Okay, and she has offered to help. How you can structure a game plan. That's very important. A game plan is very important, so that you have both. You have changed your mind, you have changed your brain, and here is the game plan, and here is the astrology. Okay, when all these things are put together, there is no way but to succeed. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So the time to act is now. I need to remind everyone that we have to close registration at the end of this program, and that's coming up really soon. The slots are filling up, and like I mentioned earlier, we can only take so many registrants because we have customized reports. So time is running out, And I just want to welcome again new members to the Millionaire Yoga Program. Shirley E. from Maryland, John S. from Oregon, Basanta B. from Finland, Leah N. from Canada, Chantal M. from UK, Pamela C. from West Virginia, Arun P. from Iceland, all over the world, Vanessa B. from UK, Catherine R. from Colorado, and Akash from Canada. So just to summarize again, what do you get in this incredible program? 3 initiations from Dr. Pillai and very powerful techniques in order to gain the millionaire mind. This has a $600 value alone. Then you have 4 live teaching, Q&A group coaching calls. That's a $200 value. We have 8 webinars in the program. We just added the 8th webinar today. So the 8 webinars have a $560 value. 2 personalized Vedic astrology readings at $180 value. And as like Dr. Pillai was saying, these are critical. You have to know what the planets are giving you in terms of your highest potential for making money. So this is a total of 15 sessions, 2 life-changing reports, all at a value of $1,540. Today, you can start the program for $497. It's even easier to start with our installment plan of $277 today, and then one more installment of $277. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it for a week and feel how incredible the program is. You know what your experience was like today, your first experience of the Millionaire Mind. And for those of you that are still wondering, can I do it? It's really easy. It only takes 30 minutes a day. And as Dr. Pillai said, eventually the techniques become effortless because it just becomes part of you. And the mantras are working all the time. The mindset of the millionaire is working all the time. And we teach these techniques to thousands of children at our Hope Centers in India. Even children can do it, and they can have immediate results. So definitely, of any age group, you can do it. You don't need an educational background. You don't need experience in meditation. And most importantly, it's something that you can do without even knowing that you're doing it, because it's blended in so effortlessly to your daily practice. So there's actually no reason not to do it. And like Dr. Pillai said, the most important thing is just step outside of yourself and then step into your new self. Make the commitment. And this is the best day to do it. It's actually, the registration is closing now, but as I mentioned at the beginning of this program, when you make the decision today, you have planetary energies behind you to give you maximum success in this program. So that's why we planned everything the way that we did. We believe that timing is everything. And today is the right time, and now is the right time. So to make it more fun for people to make that final action of commitment, the next 20 registrants will receive a free e-CD of Dr. Pillai's Meditations and Affirmations with the Master. So again, the next 20 registrants to the Millionaire Yoga Program receive this e-CD for free. And again, I just want to mention, you can start the program and just try it out for a week. There's no commitment after a week. If you want to have your money back, no problem with that. And again, registration closes today. The way that you take action now is just click on that button to the right of your viewing window that says Get Started Now. And I want to encourage all of you, do it for yourself, do it for your family, and do it for the world. We need you. Dr. Pillai is so committed to creating a global shift in prosperity. And we need you to come forward as light warriors. The more people that step forward and claim their mastery over money and empower themselves, the more that we can move into a golden age, and that means that we create that global shift of consciousness for everyone. And when you join this program, 15% of the proceeds goes to Tripura Foundation, to their Hope Centers. So when you take this action of commitment, you're already helping a child, a destitute child, have a totally new chance at life. So now's the time to act. Thank you so much for joining us. I just want to also thank a very important person here that has been working for 2 months on this program. Beth, can you join us quickly up here on the stage? Every day she's been moving along this event and this program. Let's give her a hand.